Small Business Talk promotes smart business techniques for today's entrepreneur. As the newest premier talk radio show, we educate, engage, and inform on a platform of specific content and relevant topics. Discover the entrepreneur in you as we help build America's economy one entrepreneur at a time. Call us at 888-202-1349 with your question or comment. Now, here's your host of Small Business Talk, John Cruz.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Talk. I'm your host, John Cruz, and you know this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspire entrepreneurs from thought to action. I have a couple great guests in the studio today, and I want to go ahead and get our interview underway. We have Miss Helen Clark, and we have also Mr. Scott Young, and they are partners or owners in a business that's called the Baby CUB. And we want to talk a little bit about what you guys do and enlighten our viewing audience on how your idea came to market and how you guys are growing your business. I want to say welcome to Small Business Talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, let's start out now. The business is called the Baby CUB.
Yes.
Now, what exactly is the Baby CUB?
Well, the cub means cover-up baby. In actual fact, it's a breastfeeding garment for mothers who need a choice in their act of breastfeeding while they're in public. And there's not many choices out there, and I've come up with something that's quite different from what's out there at the moment.
So it's a garment that nursing mothers wear that allows them to breastfeed while in public, so they don't have to worry about purveying eyes, as it were.
Yes, exposure is a big factor, and the stress level can be quite high when you're trying to feed a child and keeping everything modest. Not only that, it's the reaction from the public that really bothers me quite a bit, and I'm sure it makes mums uncomfortable.
Now tell me a little bit about the way the public views a mother who is nursing her child, because I know that had something to do with why you decided to come up with this garment and the way that mothers feel that they're being treated. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes, well, the stigma or controversy at the moment, there have been some, just recently, there has been a couple of, situations. There was a mother, I believe, who was fired for breast pumping at work, or she wanted to breast pump at work. Mm-hmm. Well, mums who are breastfeeding need to do such a thing at work. And there was a mother, I believe, was at the Houston Zoo and was asked to stop breastfeeding, which is ironic.
At the zoo?
Yes. What's around you? You've got feeding mothers in their crates and their cages.
Absolutely.
And she was covered up, but still, it wasn't enough. And It was enough for someone to say stop. Now, that can happen. In a neonatal unit, for instance, when a mother has to breast pump for her baby who is sick in an incubator, she has to go behind a screen and leave the baby's crib because there are other members of the public there, like other mums and dads with their children. And to me, that's a bit unfair.
But it seems that something so natural should not be viewed as something so vulgar. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a stigma that's been laid upon mothers who choose to breastfeed for so long, mm-hmm. and it's you don't see that stigma so much in other countries, but here, for whatever reason, people just think it's, oh no, we can't, we don't allow that. Like there are major stores that recently, there was one store here in Houston, kicked a mother out who was actually breastfeeding in one of the changing rooms in their store.
And she was in a changing room?
She was in the changing room, and an employee saw her, and she asked her to leave. And that started a little bit of an uproar. But, I mean, there is a stigma, which I think is a false stigma, because it is the most natural thing a mother and a child can do.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. Now, since you've started your business, have you done any research on the statistical data that exists on why breastfeeding your child is better than, say, buying formula or anything like that?
Yes. In fact, most of the hospitals now are they want 95% compliance, and they're not giving the formula they would normally give a mother on leaving the hospital, or pacifiers. They're not encouraging pacifiers also.
Really?
it came down from the World Health Organization that to encourage more mothers to breastfeed because of the health issues. You know, children, they're immune to different, you know, diseases in their small stages of childhood. Even if you do it for a week, they still have those that protection. But it's not always convenient for a mother to breastfeed. If sometimes the mother can't breastfeed for some reason or another, and that's fine then, you know, but they want to encourage breastfed babies now more than bottle fed. But the garment that I have also plays a part in bottle fed babies too, because when a baby is bottle fed, there's a lot of distraction around this child, and they'll stop feeding, because I'm a mother of 3, and I know how difficult it can be to feed a child and there's something going on somewhere else and the kid doesn't want to eat. Well, this particular garment helps make that child feel secure. There's no distraction, it's comfortable, there's no stress.
So let's talk about how the garment actually works. So a nursing mother would wear the garment over her head, similar to like a poncho, correct?
Correct.
And the baby is actually underneath the garment. So, and the baby isn't distracted because he can't see other things. The only thing he's worried about is feeding at that time.
That's right.
Wow.
That's the important thing.
Now, they say that the mother of, you know, in all invention is necessity. And it sounds like that you are serving the need of mothers who need a voice, someone to basically stand up and champion, you know, their cause, as it were. Is that what gave you the desire to create this garment?
It was because I have 2 daughters and, of course, a son. And, you know, if they're blessed enough to have children, the last thing I want for my children is to be confronted with an objection.
Right.
And I thought, this can't go on, you know, and you hear about them every now and again. So you know, what you have to do is, what I had to do was rethink this, and I was knitting, actually, ponchos for my daughter, 9 of them, for her school buddies, and I thought this would make a great cover, once and for all, and put a stop to all this nonsense that's out there.
So you're knitting,
Yes.
and you came up with the idea while knitting that, hey, this would make a great
Concealer for breastfed babies, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. We're going to take a short break. We come back, I'm going to ask you more about the business, how you're marketing things, and how you're developing the business, and where are you selling these garments at. Guys, stay with us. Our guests today are Miss Helen Clark. We also have Mr. Scott Young. They are with the Baby CUB, and your web address is?
www.thebabycub.com.
Stay with us. This is Small Business Talk. We'll be right back after this.